Hello everybody, we are nearing the end of our Committee Day programming here at Solution Summit 2026 here in Isle of Palms. We are about ready to go in the exhibit hall for our opening reception to officially kick things off. My name is Adam Robertson, EDPMA's Marketing Director. Sitting with me is Courtney Franco from Imagine Software and Jeff Howell from Cascade 365. They are our Membership and Marketing Committee co-chairs. Welcome, you two.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's talk about the Membership Marketing Committee. What are your priorities right now when it comes to growing, engaging, and retaining EDPMA's members?
Yeah, obviously growth is always on the forefront when you're sitting in the Membership and Marketing chair. But especially here, one of the things that we're very hyper-focused on is just connecting members to one another. Right, whether that's connecting them from a networking perspective to help their practice or their group or their company advance whatever issues it is that they're trying to resolve, or just from a pure networking standpoint and connecting them over issues. So that's really important for us while we're here.
Yep.
In terms of member benefit, Adam, we're always focused on just getting deeper engagement with our membership.
Yes.
And making sure that they do understand all of the tools that we offer. What is the differentiation between not being an EDPMA and being an EDPMA member, and what does that get you?
That's right.
So that's what Jeff and I are focused on while we're here. So we're really excited about ushering in some new members and first-time attendees and first-time sponsors here at Summit today.
Absolutely. We're about to have a special 30-minute pre-opening reception for our new members, right? So we're really looking forward to that's happening in just a bit. Jeff, let me ask you now, how is EDPMA evolving to better connect to our current members and our prospective members?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of different things and a lot of just new blood, bringing in new members with new ideas and different perspectives and just different ways to go about targeting new members and bringing in new members. We're doing a lot of different things with different programs. For example, our Affinity program is really, really important, and it's a great program for organizations to be involved in to add extra value to members, to our members of EDPMA. Courtney and I are really, really working hard just to bring fresh ideas, right, and just talking more outreach and just talking up the benefits and the value and the advocacy programs of EDPMA. So those are some of the things that we're trying to do.
Right, just to get to that tipping point of we enjoy everything that's on offer here. We love Solution Summit. How do you get that tipping point of actually committing to become an EDPMA member organization, right? Courtney, when we talk about some of the obvious benefits, right? Bring your staff, you get a discount to attend Solution Summit, you get a discount to attend RCM workshop, for example. We talked about the affinity programs that we have. But what are some other benefits that maybe some organizations don't know about that really could be an additional driving force to get organizations to become members?
Yeah, so it feels obvious to us because it's such a tenet of EDPMA, but individuals are not members of EDPMA.
That's right.
Companies are members of EDPMA.
Right.
And so when your group joins EDPMA, whether you're a physician group or a supporting organization or a billing company or a freestanding emergency department, whatever that category is that you fall into, it's not just a few select individuals that have access to member benefits. It's everyone under your flag, right? So everyone from your receptionist to your CEO has access to the member benefits. Right. And so that's really, I think that's a huge differentiator for EDPMA. Being a part of other organizations in other specialties, that's not necessarily the case. Additionally, we really listen to the membership. So last year we did a very intensive member engagement survey, asked the membership what they were looking for, and now we're working toward fulfilling some of those things that they've said, hey, this is important to us. Whether it's tools for reaching out to your government officials, your elected officials, right, in toolboxes, whether it is access to the committees, right, as members, that's incredibly important because that's really where the work of EDPMA gets done, whether that's in federal health policy or state regulatory and insurance commission, whether it's in QCDC, right, the quality coding and documentation committee, or practice management. those are focus areas for our members that they can attend regularly or sporadically if they don't have the bandwidth.
Right.
But they can get involved in those groups and get answers to problems that they're facing every single day. If you're not a member, you're missing out on quite a bit.
Agreed. Today, as we talked about, was indeed committee day. We also, this morning, we had we kicked off our Emerging Leaders Academy class of 2027. So it's so incredible to see the progression from you have your academy members, then they graduate, then they get involved in committees. It's just this incredible cycle of how somebody can join, the organization as a member. They get the benefits. They start participating in all these programs, and then all of a sudden, after a few years later, they're really involved with our community.
Well, so we have a success story there, right? And one of our members went from, coming maybe as a vendor in the exhibit hall to getting involved with the Emerging Leaders Program to 3 years later being elected onto the board of directors.
Yeah,
that's really, I just got goosebumps. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it is.
And, to Jeff's point about coming up with new member benefits, the affinity program that Jeff has been so critical in launching has just taken off.
Yeah.
The Emerging Leaders Program, where we're really building the succession plan for the organization.
That's right.
And we're building a pathway for people to be involved, right? So this just isn't an organization that's stagnant. It's ever evolving. They're very receptive and quick on their feet to adopt new benefits and provide more benefits to membership.
100%. And we can only keep getting better, right? Jeff, let me ask you now about Solution Summit, right? So, we talked about the committee work, we talked about membership, but Solution Summit as an event, we're all here this week. We know it's a great place to be. We're super excited because this week, this Solution Summit is the most attended Solution Summit ever in the history of the EDPMA, so it's a huge accomplishment. And next year's our 30th anniversary, right? So we're gonna go from there. Why should people be at this event?
This event is probably the most awesome event that we can possibly have. It brings everybody together in emergency medicine, whether you're, in a supporting organization, a billing company, an ER staffing firm, etc. And it just brings everybody together to share. That's the big thing for me is everybody is so open to sharing best practices. You can share enough without being, jeopardizing confidentiality, I think. And there are so many folks, a CFO wants to sit next to another CFO at dinner and say, well, how do you do this? What are you doing here? What are you doing with IDR related to, things of that nature, or no surprise bill act and things like that? And you're just sharing information. So that's the biggest thing that I see. Is just the fact that everybody's coming together, sharing best practices because we all want to see each other be successful. The other thing is just the overall networking, the education, the sessions are awesome. The overall educational information is awesome that we could take back to our offices and to the rest of our staff that weren't able to make it. So it's just a coming together for 2 or 3 days and everybody just sharing and really just bringing everything together. So that's the way I see it.
Courtney?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely the networking, right? It's seeing all the people. But aside from that, I think Jeff touched on it a little bit, but it's the ability for everyone to take off their company hats and advance the specialty of emergency medicine, whatever that means, right? Whatever the issue is that we're trying to come together over, this is the place to do it. And there are multiple ways to do that throughout the year, right? Like we have our lobby days. One is coming up in June. We have our RCM workshop, which is a really intensely focused conference on reimbursement and all things billing and coding that happens in December. And it's just an opportunity to reestablish those bonds with the people that are fighting the same good fight, right? And maybe there's a little lamenting over the issues, over libations, but then there's this renewed spirit of like, moving things forward. There's the brainstorming of how do we best and most efficiently do that.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but like there's just so much energy
Yes.
in the room. Like I'm like low grade kind of buzzing right now. I'm just ready to get to the first reception, right? But it's just driving here even. I was just really excited to see my people. Like these are my people.
And it also helps that you're in a beautiful setting like
Yeah.
Howell
This doesn't
Palms,
hurt.
so that helps as well.
All right, final thoughts. We did cover this at the beginning of our conversation, but why is it so important for organizations and their teams to not only be engaged with EDPMA outside of our events, but also become members of EDPMA? We touched on this before, but final thoughts.
Yeah, I'll say one thing and then I'm happy to pass it over, but I think it's not unlike anything else in life in that what you put in is what you will get out. So you can be a member and be completely disengaged.
That's right.
Right? Like you can pay the dues and you can do the things. But my suggestion, my recommendation is really get involved. If you think, don't be apprehensive about it, right? Whether it's lobbying or getting involved on some sort of policy issue or just getting involved in a task force. There are so many people here. This is a 100% volunteer organization. Just so we're clear, thousands of hours are invested toward advancing the greater good of emergency medicine, and nobody's getting paid for that, right? Our companies support us to be here to do this thing, whether it's your group or your company, right? In our case, our company. But put in the work, be vested, because I promise you, the time and the energy and effort that you put in will be returned to you tenfold. That's mine.
Jeff?
Just one final thought I have, and those are great points that Courtney has. I would just say, if you're on the fence, call or contact myself or Courtney.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let us share some of the benefits of EDPMA as a whole, the marketing and membership committee in general that we're co-chairs of. Let's just talk. Let's take 15 minutes and just chat, and let us share the benefits and the value that EDPMA can provide to you individually and to your organization. And just try it out. Just take 15 minutes to try it out. Join a committee. Try out a committee. You're not obligated. Again, it's a volunteer organization, but just try a committee that may interest you, and check it out and see for yourself. So that'd be my recommendation.
Okay, I had a funny thought. So we're on an island, right? Like this is an island. We're like sort of on an island. If you're not a member of EDPMA, you are most certainly on an island. Now this is a beautiful island to be on.
Yeah,
right.
But you are also isolated.
Yeah.
If you are not a member of EDPMA and you are not receiving that support and the benefits and the first-hand knowledge of the advocacy work and all of the good work that we are doing, you must feel so lonely. But you don't have to be. You could be here with us.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Don't be scared to reach out to Jeff and Courtney. They're great, I promise. If you are interested in joining EDPMA, of course, you can reach out to a member of EDPMA staff, go on our website, you can check out our benefits page, and of course, if you're comfortable to reach out to both Jeff and Courtney. All right? Thank you,
Thank you.
Excited to see you at the
Appreciate it.
reception.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Bye.